the Spectrum of Science series, Episode 1, Biology, presented by Scholarlink Online Tutors. What is biology? At its core, biology is the study of life, which encompasses vast aspects of life. From the tiniest organisms to the largest animals and plants, biology seeks to understand how life works. It has a vast amount of objectives and goals, which it is succeeding to achieve by the passage of time. One of the most important branch of biology, which is botany. Basically, it deals with the study of plants. In this branch, we deal with the study of all kinds of plants and their roles in the process of photosynthesis, providing us food, and how are their modes of nutrition. We will work in this branch of science if we are interested in studying about the details of a plant's structure and function. It's not just basically a simple and boring field, it is having a vast world in it. The next field, which is one of the most interesting one, is about zoology. You know what? Zoology is just the study of animals. Each and every feature, each and every structure about an animal is covered under the perspective of zoology, because this branch is vast and wide. Coming towards the next branch, which is also one of the latest and considered important in biology, is microbiology, in which we study in detail about the microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, fungi, and all other stuff. Now coming toward genetics, which is the most trending field of biology. In this we study the patterns of inheritance, like how the characteristics and the traits are inherited from generation-wise, and the traits are shown in the other organisms as well. Here, let's introduce a new and widely scoped branch of science and biology, which is biotechnology. What is biotechnology? It is the practical applications of living organisms and small organisms in order to make the useful products for the welfare of mankind. What is the history or background of biology? Let's study about it in detail. You know that humans have always been curious about the living world, how the things come from, what are the things belonging to, and all that stuff. We know better that humans have a very innovative mind, and the creativity of their minds is just leading them to solve the unknown mysteries of this universe. They are curious to know that what is happening, how is all that things happening. And according to the ancient civilization, what they studied, they basically studied the plants and animals to learn how to grow food or treat illness. It wasn't that much easy, but they made their points clear. It was all because of their hard work and successes. But how they got success? What are the key steps? What are the major things that have contributed in detail about having the discoveries of growing the food and treating illnesses? We'll also discuss about that. It was not until the 19th century that biology as a science truly took form. Before that was not that much evolved. The works of Charles Darwin and Gregor Mendel laid the foundation of evolutionary biology and genetics. What they did, they basically dedicated all their lives in contributing to the mysteries of biology. How life have evolved, how the smallest organisms that were just in the past world centuries ago, they have evolved and developed in the newly formed organisms. Darwin's theory of natural selection explained how species evolved over time. Like it was a vast phenomenal thing that we have discovered with the passage of time. And Mendel's experiments with the pea plants, they revealed the basic laws of heredity, such as the law of segregation and the law of independent assortment, that you might have encountered if you're a student of biology, or you might have been a student of biology in your past life. These are the things that scientists have made clear to us. And now we are also advancing in these studies. Their theories became the laws by the passage of time. When other people, they proved what they worked, what they found out, it was just fantastic. And it was according to the present day pace, meeting all the criteria of the living organisms. These scientists have a detailed role in our lives that we are spending also, because every technology is depending upon the work that was related to the past scientists of biology. Thanks to them for making us well adapted to the knowledge of biology. Together, their discoveries opened the door of the modern biology. You know what is meant by the modern biology? It is the modern techniques that make it modern. What exactly defines something as alive? How can we define anything as alive? What do you think? Or it's according to you? To answer this question, the biologists have identified several key characteristics that all living organisms share. They have different levels, such as atoms, which becomes combined and form molecules in cell, and then it forms the tissues and organs and all that stuff. Because these include the organizations, the cells being the basic unit of life, their ability to reproduce and all that stuff. From this temple is bacteria to complex organisms like a thread of what life is made possible. This is all because of these discoveries and inventions that have made our lives easier, because we now know that what was the origin of our life and how they have evolved, how we have evolved the lives to its present form possibly. It wasn't made possible if there was no dedication in the present world era and all that discoveries of the science. There are a number of books that are offering us wild details and knowledge about the fields of biology. Because at the smallest level, biologists study the molecules like DNA and proteins that carry out vital processes within cells. Because that DNA is also known as the blueprint of the life. It is having all that kind of structures, all that features, all the characteristics that are transferred from generation to generation. Cells, when they combine together, they form themselves the tissues. And when the tissues, they combine together, they form an entire organ. It means that an organ consists of the tissues, and the tissues are further subdivided into the same functioning cells. This is how life is designed. It is very complicated and well-designated series. And on the larger scale, we'll look at organisms as individual populations, community, and even entire ecosystems. Each level of organization reveals new information about how life interacts with its environment. What are the pros and cons? What are the benefits life is giving to its environment and the environment is giving to the living organisms? They include the humans, the animals, the fungi, bacteria, algae, and all that stuff. We study the relationships between all the 5 kingdoms and their environment, like how environment is treating us. Now let's discuss what is the importance of biology. Why is biology so important? And what are the benefits? As we move into the 21st century, biology is rapidly evolving. The things are changing, the techniques are evolving, the gadgets are enhancing, and new techniques such as DNA sequencing and PCR cycles and each and every stuff is advancing us day by day, and we are stepping your knowledge and all that things towards the highest peaks of the world and the universe. And all that stuff is just because the fruit of our efforts and contributions to this field of science. New technologies are giving us deeper insight into the life processes. As, for example, by the technique of DNA fingerprinting, now we are able to determine that why and what is the relationship between a father and a child. And we can also diagnose, for example, if we found a patient dead over some area, so we can find out that whom does it belongs to, and the crashes of the plane and all that kind of stuff. Which thing is contributing? It is the biology and its techniques that are helping us to dive deeper inside the life processes. For example, the field of biotechnology. It basically allowed the scientists to manipulate DNA for medical and agricultural procedures. In this way, you can do some kind of cloning purposes, some kind of genetic engineering, and it is a vast field. It's a very, very interesting world to know that how genetic engineering is carried on, the vector cell is taken, and all that stuff. Now let's conclude it all. It is basically a very interesting world to discuss and many more to come. Biology is a very, very fruitful study that is going to help you. Stay tuned for more episodes only on Scholarlink Online Tutors. Wait for the next episode. Thank you.